Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the noise, find the facts, and basically give you what you need to be properly informed.
That's the goal.
And today, wow, we are jumping right into boxing, specifically Oleksandr Usyk's latest fight. That atmosphere was electric, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Wembley Stadium, the Dubois fight, a fifth-round knockout.
Wholly dominant. I mean, if anyone still had doubts about his form, that performance pretty much silenced them.
It really did. And it brings his record to, what, 24-0?
Yeah, 24-0, 15 KOs. Immaculate.
But it's more than just the record, right?
Exactly. That's what we're diving into. His unique achievement, becoming undisputed heavyweight champ again.
To the second time.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Add that to being undisputed cruiserweight champ before Olympic gold.
And those double wins over Fury and Joshua, I mean, his accomplishments, they really demand you pay attention.
They absolutely do. And look, this latest win, it's really kicked off a massive debate. Experts, fans, other fighters, everyone's weighing in.
So our mission today really is to unpack all that. The arguments against Usyk being, truly one of the greats, maybe even the greatest heavyweight ever.
That's the big question.
We'll look at the case for him being an all-time great, but also, the historical side, the voice is urging a bit of caution.
Okay, well, let's start with the case for Usyk. Because honestly, the arguments for his genius are pretty compelling.
Right. That Dubois fight, for instance.
So clinical. Paulie Malignaggi, on his show, Paulie TV, he said it was, quote, more dominant than I expected.
Yeah, I heard that. He said Usyk made it look easier than the first fight.
Exactly. Said he basically put Daniel Dubois in a blender. You just don't see that kind of efficiency often, especially not in championship fights at heavyweight.
In a blender.
Yeah.
Love that description. It really paints a picture, doesn't it? And it ties right into the scale of what he's achieved historically. The unification stuff. We're talking a 3-time undisputed world champion.
Yep.
Once at cruiserweight, now twice at heavyweight. That's huge.
It really is. Boxing News pointed out he's only the second guy ever, after Evander Holyfield, to be undisputed at both cruiser and heavy.
And only the third male fighter, after Crawford and Inouye, to do it in 2 divisions in the 4-belt era. That's not just winning belts. That's making history, unifying divisions like that.
And it's rare air, absolutely. And you can't forget his amateur background either. Olympic gold, world gold, European gold.
Over 300 amateur fights. That builds such a deep foundation of skill, of experience.
And then there's that road warrior thing. He didn't just win titles, he went and took them from champions in their own countries.
Right. Glowacki in Poland, Breedis in Latvia, Gassiev in Russia.
Joshua in London, Fury in Saudi Arabia. That takes incredible mental strength, performing under that kind of pressure, often in hostile territory. It's a different kind of greatness.
It's definitely more than just mental strength, though. It points to his technical skill, his style. It's just unique.
Utterly unique. Malignaggi, again, he talked about his footwork. Stupendous, magnificent, he called it.
Yeah, how he keeps his steps so short, so tight, always balanced.
And what's crazy is he's not really a natural heavyweight, is he? He's smaller than most of these guys.
Way smaller. But he's outthinking them, outmaneuvering them. Frankly, he's kind of embarrassing them with pure technique sometimes.
He really is. He can't just rely on power like some bigger guys. He has to use precision, movement. It baffles opponents.
And that technique is built on amazing defense, too.
Oh, yeah. Very responsible defensively. Doesn't get hit clean that often. He even named his left hook Ivan.
Ivan? Really?
Yeah, like a Ukrainian name, he said. Like a big guy who lives in a village and works for his family. That was the punch that finished Dubois.
Huh. That's interesting.
And his fight IQ, varying punches, creating, as someone put it, chaos in your mind. That's the mark of an elite fighter. Generational, maybe?
And look, it's not just us saying this, or a couple of boxing nerds. Big names in the sport are backing him up.
Eddie Hearn, for one.
Right. Hearn flat out called him the unquestionable #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Said he's sensational, a genius, a generational great.
Strong words from a major promoter.
He even went further. Said he'd probably pick Usyk to beat Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes,
Wow.
Joe Frazier, Sonny Liston. Said he'd back Usyk against those guys. And TalkSport pundits agree, putting him up there with Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Dave Allen said he belongs in the conversation with Sugar Ray Leonard, Ray Robinson. That's comparing him to absolute legends.
It really is legendary company.
Yeah.
Very strong case.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's flip the coin. Because history has a long memory, right?
There's always the counter-argument, especially when you start talking greatest ever.
And the main point against Usyk, for immediate GOAT status anyway, seems to be this idea of a thin resume at heavyweight.
Right. Impressive wins, yes, but critics say the volume isn't there yet compared to the legends. The Grueling Truth website made this point.
They argue his heavyweight run is, what, just 8 fights?
Hmm.
Against 5 different guys. Witherspoon, Chisora, Joshua twice, Dubois twice, Fury twice.
Yeah, and the argument is that lacks the, quote, volume or quality of opponents you see with Ali, Joe Louis, Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, guys who fought numerous top contenders over many years in the division.
Okay, but hang on. Looking at the quality in those 8 fights, Fury twice, Joshua twice, Dubois twice. Isn't that beating the best available guys repeatedly? Doesn't that count as cleaning out the current division?
It absolutely counts as dominating the current era, no question. But that leads straight into the next critique, which is about the era itself.
The weak era argument.
Exactly. Critics say the modern heavyweight scene just doesn't have the depth of previous times. The Grueling Truth quoting comments like, the heavyweight division is bad now, or he's the best of an average bunch. They specifically question his opponent's historical standing, saying Joshua was already vulnerable, Fury came in out of shape, arguably lost focus, and that Fury win was a close split decision.
Right, comparing it to Ollie facing Liston, Patterson, Frazier, Foreman, Norton, or Lewis fighting Holyfield, Tyson, Vitaly Klitschko. That kind of lineup.
It's about the context, the competitive landscape he's excelling in when you're talking all-time rankings.
I get the context argument, I do. But
Yeah.
a win's a win, isn't it? Especially when you dominate like he has. Is it fair to knock a fighter because of who else is around? You can only beat who they put in front of you.
And he's certainly done that. But for an all-time ranking, comparing across decades, context becomes almost everything for some historians. Plus, there's the whole recency bias thing.
Oh, yeah. Getting caught up in the moment.
Right. The Grueling Truth mentioned how fans and media can be prisoners of the moment, making these huge declarations right after a big win. True greatness, they argue, needs time, perspective. Wins that really stand the test of time.
So basically, pump the brakes. Let's see how it looks in 10, 20 years, even after everything he's done.
That's the argument from the historical perspective, yeah. And tied into that is his age.
He's 38, yeah. But he fights like he's 28, constantly outworking younger, bigger guys.
He definitely defies expectations. But age and mileage are still factors in legacy debates. Paulie Malignaggi pointed out Ali was around 38, maybe 36, 37 when he fought Leon Spinks, and that was already a fading Ali.
Fair point.
Usyk has a ton of mileage from that long amateur career. Hatman Strikes Back even said, I still saw signs of Usyk slowing down. Usyk looked old, but his skills just masked it.
So the worry is, how long can he keep this up at this level, given all those rounds?
That's part of the calculus for some critics, yes, even if a lot of it was amateur.
And what about the cruiserweight argument? That his dominance there doesn't automatically mean he's an all-time heavyweight great. That seems harsh, given he unified the heavyweights too.
It's not saying it doesn't translate at all, it clearly does. But it's about whether that cruiserweight success plus his current heavyweight run vaults him past legends who spent their entire careers fighting elite heavyweights. The Grueling Truth article asked, why should Usyk jump past Lennox Lewis or George Foreman based on 8 heavyweight fights when someone like Holyfield, also undisputed cruiser in heavy, with way more defining heavyweight wars, often doesn't even make top 5 lists?
Right, comes back to that volume of heavyweight challenges faced over a longer period.
Exactly. It's about the body of work within the division you're ranking them in.
Okay, so much of this hinges on the resume, the numbers, the opponents, the era, tangible stuff. But it's funny, even guys who focus on the resume, like Hatman Strikes Back you mentioned, he apparently said he thinks Usyk's style would be all wrong for Muhammad Ali in a fantasy fight. Even the resume guys can't resist the what-ifs, can they?
No, it seems not. The allure of the fantasy matchup is strong.
Which maybe suggests there's another kind of greatness.
Yeah.
Something beyond just the stats and who fought who when.
I think that's a really important angle.
Yeah.
And Sarah Shepard wrote about this beautifully in a piece called Usyk, The Greatness of a Champion, Inside and Out. She really digs into Usyk, the person, his impact. His role as a national hero for Ukraine, especially now, he's become the symbol of hope, using his platform, meeting veterans, inspiring people during the conflict.
You definitely see that. The article mentioned the English crowd chanting his name, Usyk, Usyk, Usyk. There's an appreciation beyond just the boxing.
For sure. It recognizes the significance for Ukraine. He's way more than just an athlete right now.
And his character generally, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge part of his appeal. He's so humble, so respectful, in a sport that's often not.
Absolutely. Remember his message to Dubois after the fight? It's not bad, it's boxing, it's not ballet. Daniel, you are young, you can dream. So gracious.
And how he handled Fury's trash talk. Just smiling, his faith, carrying his daughter's Iori toy, talking about feeling his late father's presence. It's very human, very relatable.
It really connects him to people. Shepard's conclusion was powerful. She said, greatness, it's not what you do, but how you are doing it. That matters too.
I like that.
And she argued his place in the pantheon is assured, no asterisk required. It's a strong counter to just looking at the resume. It asks us to think about what greatness really means.
So where does that leave us with Usyk's legacy? It's this fascinating split, isn't it? On one side, you've got undeniable skill, historic achievements, unifying two divisions, this incredible character.
And on the other, you have the historical perspective questioning the heavyweight resume depth, the strength of the era compared to the past giants.
It's a legacy still being written, for sure. Eddie Hearn even asked out loud, what more are there to do? He should retire.
But Usyk himself, after the Dubois fight, was just like, now I want to rest. I can't say who my next opponent is. Very coy.
Classic Usyk. But the future.
Yeah.
It is still out there. There are credible guys. Joseph Parker holds that WBO interim belt. Ajit Kabayel is highly ranked.
Right.
That young guy, Moses Itoma, is coming up fast.
And you can never completely rule out a third Fury fight, I suppose. If the demand is there, whatever he does next, everyone will be watching.
No doubt about that.
So as Usyk figures out his next move, maybe cementing his place even further, we'll leave you, the listener, with this thought to chew on. When you size up a fighter's legacy, how do you balance that sheer brilliance and those historic wins against the era they fought in? What kind of greatness ultimately matters most to you?